Hi, good day. Welcome to our topic for this week. Yesterday I have uploaded a video with regards of our topic for this week, the verbal and non-verbal communication. Okay, based on our module. Okay, but this time I am going to present to you what non-verbal communication is all about. Okay, and I am going to upload it in my personal account, Facebook account, and to our Facebook page and to your GC. Okay, so while listening, stay productive, stay happy, and be blessed. Okay, so non-verbal communication. Actions speak louder than words. Do you believe that actions speak louder than words? Do you believe for that? Well, of course, I myself personally believe in that. But this presentation is not originally from Mr. Nanali. I'm not the one who made this one, but it is credited to Akash Gupta. Okay? It is Akash Gupta who made this PPT, not me. PowerPoint presentation. Okay, let's proceed. Contents of nonverbal communication are the importance of nonverbal communication, examples of nonverbal communication, types of nonverbal communication. So we have F, kinesics, G, proxemics, haptics, and we also have the do's and don'ts. Okay. Messages can be expressed non-verbally. Do you believe in that? Yes, of course, I do believe that you too there believe that messages can be expressed non-verbally. Okay? So we have here the gestures, postures, facial expression. Okay. How about this one? What do you think this person is doing? Okay, maybe this person is happy. Okay. This one is maybe mad. For sure, this one is crying. This person is really sad. And this one is maybe this one is doing an exercise. Okay? Doing an exercise. And so with this. Okay. Is it important? The answer is yes. 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 And yes. Only 7% of a message effect are carried by words. Okay? The other is 93% through nonverbal means. Okay, this data was made by Mihabian. Okay, excuse me, class. Okay, so impossible not to communicate. Is it impossible not to communicate? Is it impossible not to communicate through nonverbal? Okay, the biggest example of nonverbal communication is Mr. Bean. Okay, Mr. Ben. Okay, Mr. Bean's series is the only person who doesn't utter a word and still easily accomplish his objective or making people laugh. And the people who is watching the episode get easily understand what he wants to say. And that is the power of non-verbal communication. You're in, you aren't uttering any words, but your actions speak louder than your words. Okay, copy. Okay, so next, nonverbal communication is usually understood as the process of communication through sending and receiving wordless, okay, mostly visual messages. You may say, I am not saying anything, but again, your actions speak louder than your words. Okay? Especially when you are smirking, you're staring at someone, it tells a lot. Okay. So we have here the facial expressions, the eye movements. Sometimes our facial expressions towards somebody may intimidate or may make somebody annoyed. Okay? How about eye movement? That is really important. The way you look at the person really matters a lot. Say, for example, when you will be interviewed by your employer because you are applying for a job, for a certain job, it is really important to have an eye-to-eye contact. You, as an interviewee, has to have your eyes focus towards the one who is interviewing you because that is really important. Okay, that's one of the factors for you to be in with that particular company. So eye to eye contact. Okay, eye movement. Okay, head movements. Okay, sometimes when we are not agreeing with something, we have our head movement tell a lot. Okay, our head movements tell a lot. Okay, hand movements. Okay, be very careful with your hand movements. Here in the Philippines, we do have okay, street gestures, street hand gestures, such as thumbs up. That entails okay, great, good, or any positive things. But this one cannot be applied in some countries, such as when you do thumbs up, that might be rude to them. So be very careful. Again, let's come back or let's go back to our previous discussion. To be a better communicator, if you want to be a better communicator, always blend with the culture. Okay? Always blend with the culture that you may able to blend yourself towards the other people. Okay. Next is posture. Say, for example, if you're mad or if you're happy. Say, for example, if you're mad, if the person will ask you, are you okay? You may answer yes, but your posture tells that you are angry. Okay? You're angry. It's really hard to pretend when your body tells something. Okay? Way of talking. How about way of talking? What is your way of talking? Are you are you shall I call you a mellow voice? Do you have a mellow voice or relaxed voice? Soft voice? Do you have a loud voice when talking? How do you answer? How do you respond? Matters a lot. Okay? You always have to remember that in Philippines, we belong to, or Philippine belongs to, high context society. High context society class, that means to say that they are culturally molded, shaped by the culture in which they are very sensitive. And most of the high context culture are ASEAN countries or Asian countries rather. And one of them is Philippines. Okay, so always remember when you say high context culture, these is sensitive, or these are the countries that are sensitive. Okay, closeness. We also have here, okay, closeness, okay, etc. Types of nonverbal communication. We have kinesics, okay, kinesics, proxemics, and haptics. What is kinesics? These are facial expressions, your gestures, your eye movements. Okay, you always have to remember whenever I ask you what kinesics are, these are your facial expressions, your gestures, and your eye movements. Okay, facial expression. Say, for example, when you're angry, okay, you tend to lower your eyebrows, stare intensely, okay, stare intensely. I'll give you an example here. Okay, angry. Back then, I happened to visit my neighbor, And that time, you know, the children of that couple were eating also, and then I happened to visit at that particular time they were eating, and then the parents called me, Rolene, come sit here and eat with us. But some of these children of theirs, they stared at me, they get angry because they don't want me to sit with them and eat with them. Okay, so I received the lower eyebrows from them, and they stared at me intensely. Okay, so these are nonverbal communication through angriness. Excuse me, class. Okay, fear, round eyes, open mouth. You know what it means. Okay, disgust means say you are angry. Gakaulit ka. How do you call in Ilonggo gakaulit or disgust? Okay, you know what disgust means, class, okay? You may search this one in dictionary because I could hardly translate this in Hiligaynon. Okay, disgust. Okay, disgust. This is a bit similar with angry. Okay, this is a bit similar with angry. Okay, in Bisayan we call it gakaulit. Gakaulit na gid ko saya ha. Okay, it started to get angry. Yes, disgusting. Okay, wrinkled nose, lowered eyelids. Okay, how about surprise? Raising your eyebrows, your wide open eyes, open mouth. Wow! So you are opening your mouth. And then of course, when you open your mouth with with happiness, it will also mean the eyes will also blend with your mouth as well as your eyebrows. These things will work together. Okay, you cannot say that when you're angry, it's only your mouth, your nose will work together, not your eyes or eyebrow. Of course, they are part of the head, they are being united. Okay, happiness, round eyes, smiles, raised cheeks. Okay, raised cheeks. Okay, so next, gestures, openness or confidence. Okay, we have open hands, eye contact, smile, leaning forward, relaxed, standing straight, confidence. Okay, are you confident enough to be a competent communicator? Are you confident enough, should I say, in joining the 2020 Miss Universe beauty pageant, in which your communication will really be tested? Okay, your linguistic capacity will really be tested, will really be filtered, and by the time you will be refined to its finest, no, finest level, then that's the time that you might be chosen to be one of the candidates and be the Miss Universe. Okay, for the ladies, for the man as well, we also have. I think in here in Philippines we have Ginoong something like that. Okay, so that's it. We also have indifference or close. Okay, indifference or close. Legs crossed, shaking one foot, glancing at exit, yawning. Now, we also have fidget. Proxemics. Okay, when say proxemics, this is related to space and distance. Okay, intimate or distance. You have to be very careful when talking to somebody. Okay, in nonverbal communication, sometimes um, we may not say anything when we are in a group of people. Say, for example, I am with a group of people. We aren't saying anything else, but we may have a communication breakdown. Say, for example, there is a table, now, yeah, there is a wide table in the library. You know, three of us or four of us are studying. Okay, everyone are silent. But as as the time goes by, one of these four people became annoyed with the smell. Okay, and then he started to move his body. He started to move his body because he is smelling something that is not good. Okay, maybe the person sitting beside him or her failed to take a bath that time. Okay, so maybe the person sitting beside him smells so stingy, bad breath, the smell of the armpit. Okay, so this is a form of communication breakdown through this is a communication breakdown in non-verbal communication. So you may ask, sir, is there any communication breakdown in non-verbal communication? The answer is yes. And one of the examples of that is your smell. Okay? Your smell tells a lot. Either you fail to take a bath, you fail to brush your teeth. Okay? That may cause communication breakdown within or as part of non-verbal communication. Okay. So that's proxemics. Okay. That is why, class, you notice if it happened that you failed to brush your teeth and then it happened that you will be talking to somebody, of course, always remember, have a proxemics. Always use the proxemics. Okay. Distance yourself to that person. Okay. Distance. Otherwise, there might be a communication breakdown. Okay. The person whom you're talking with might get his handkerchief and put it on his mouth, on his nose, in which that will cause a communication breakdown, in which you too, as the sender, will feel insulted. Okay, so that's how important. That's how important the excuse me, the proxemics. Okay, so intimate distance, personal distance, social distance, public distance. Okay, now I am going to elaborate to you what public distance. Okay, during this time of pandemic, okay, we have public distance. You cannot just go or you cannot just travel somewhere, okay, without asking permission from the barangay. Okay, that is what we call public distance. How about social distance? You cannot just go or you cannot just be, you cannot just go directly and hug or touch a person whom you do not know yet because you might be infected by the virus. Okay, that is social distance. How about if you know somebody who is coronavirus infected? And then that person will come to you. What do you think might happen? Of course, you will not come. Possible you will not, you'll have your distance towards that person. So would there be a communication breakdown? The answer is either yes or no. Let's take a look first with yes. Why do you, sir, why is it that you answered yes? Well, there might be a communication breakdown, class, because the person whom you will be meeting that particular time might feel insulted if he calls you and then you just put barrier or distance or you distance yourself towards that person. Okay, So that might cause communication breakdown. How about sir the no? Well, of course, um, if the person infected with corona knew already that his friend or her friend knew that he was infected already, of course, he himself will do the initiation. He will not come close to that person. Okay? So that's it. That's what proxemics are. Okay? Always have to remember, class, that in communication, in nonverbal communication, distance really matters. Okay? Distance really matters. Next, we have haptics. That is the study of touch as non-verbal communication. That includes handshake, a pat on shoulder, shaking hands, holding hands, a pat on the back. Okay, a pat on the back. Now, holding hands. For couple, for these people who have boyfriend and girlfriend, when they walk along the way, they usually hold their hands together. Okay, so what does that mean? Of course, they feel in love with each other. How about handshake? Okay, you notice this person here talking together. Maybe these are businessmen, businesswoman, and businessman. And usually this type of people do handshake. Okay, so do handshake. Now there is a trivia. This is not a trivia, but this is one of the facts in line with the business world. When you shake your hands, especially to business people, you really have to tighten your handshake. Why? Because when you fail to tighten your hand, that may cause a negative effect to the one you're holding with. Okay, so when you do handshake, tight your hands, because tightening your hands means you have a confidence towards that person. So for example, if I, Mr. Nanali, will be meeting with Mr. Lee, I am I am I am the CEO of my company, and Mr. Lee is one of my investors, and agree we happen to agree that on that particular date, time, and place, we will be meeting. Here comes the time. There we are on that place. We do handshake. Okay, I'll give you a clear illustration. Okay, there we are in, shall we say, in the park. Okay, so upon meeting Mr. Lee, I will do like this. Hello, Mr. Lee. Okay, with my hand, right hand, I'm going to extend it towards the hand of Mr. Lee. Okay, so I have to tighten my hands. Okay, otherwise, if I'm not going to tighten my hands, Mr. Lee might think that I don't have a trust towards him as a future investor of my company. Okay, so to make Mr. Lee invest money towards my company, I have to have his trust. And one of the ways is by handshaking with a tight hand. Okay, so that's the importance of handshake towards nonverbal communication. Excuse me. Okay, so how about pat on the back? So what is pat on the back? Okay, if I am going to ask you what pat on the back is, how will you answer it, and what will be your answer? Okay, just imagine that we are in a face-to-face class. Okay, So what will be your answer? What will be your answer? Okay. So since you don't have answer because you are not there, I'll give you the definition of pat on the back. Pat on the back, that is a word or gesture of support, approval, or praise, as in the bonus she or he gave. Okay? Assistant, or that is an assistant. Pat on the back or tapping your back, that's a form of nonverbal communication. Okay. So this time we have the do's and don'ts. Okay? How about those? Have eye contact but don't stare. Okay? When you look at a person, look at him or her with gentle eyes. Okay? With soft eyes. Now, how will you notice that a person has soft eyes? Soft looking eyes. Of course, the way they look at you, the way these people look at you. So that is an example of not staring. Okay, staring is really different. Okay, staring, sharp eyes, sharp look. Okay, how about don't cross your arms or legs? Okay, of course, when you will be meeting a person, you cannot just cross your arms, cross your legs, most especially if you are or you will be meeting a stranger, a new person. Okay? How about don't be afraid to take up some space? Don't be afraid to take up some space. Don't fidget. Relax your shoulder. Okay? Most especially class when you will be applying for a job, particular job, when you sit in front of the human resource director or the one who will do the interview towards you, always have a calm mind, a peace of mind, and a peace of heart. When you have a peace of heart and a peace of mind, that particular time you may be able to relax your body, relax your shoulders. And when you answer the questions, the words are so smooth, not scripted. It is really natural. Okay, that is the importance of interview when you undergo interview. Okay, nod when you are listening. Okay, nodding our heads when listening. I don't know if this is applicable to you. Yes, perhaps, but I think this is not common for everybody. Nod when you are listening. In Philippines, I noticed it is not common, but I think this particular culture here may be applicable to some countries, to some culture in other country. Don't tell me that when you are listening, you are nodding your heads, aren't you? Of course, you are not, right? Okay, so because usually when we listen, relax, chill. Okay, don't slouch, sit up straight. Okay, okay, lean but not too much. Okay, next, we're almost done. Excuse. Smile. You are not completely dressed until you wear a smile. Okay, what are the purpose of your well suit? If you're well suit, if you don't wear your smile, you're so handsome, you're so beautiful, your clothes are expensive, whatsoever, stuff like that. But remember, one ingredient. Okay? One ingredient to be a competent communicator is your facial expression. That is smile. Okay? Always smile. But of course, to avoid communication breakdown, you smile in the right time and in the right place. Okay? Do not just smile anywhere, because that there might be people who might see you and that he may think that you are mentally retarded. Okay? And that might cause communication breakdown. So thank you, students, for listening. Hopefully I may be able to upload more videos on nonverbal communication. Okay? So God bless you all. Be productive, stay happy, stay positive. Tatak CPACA.